I'm Nikki with Descending Angels. So I'm going to break down a quick reference video for some of my girls to help them remember this spin when they get at home. So today I'm going to break down the side spin. So I'm going to show it to you, and then we'll go through some different variations and combinations for it. Okay, so that was the basic side spin. So I'm going to break that down, and then we'll work on some other stuff. So when you start your side spin, this is usually everybody's favorite spin when they get to do it. So it can be a little bit scary at first because you kind of feel like you're going to go head first, but you have both hands and a knee on there, so you're pretty secure. So as long as you're able to do your spins airily, meaning you're able to bring your feet up off the floor, and you feel pretty secure in your shoulder and your abs, this is a beginner type spin, so this is probably something that you can start working on. But you do want to make sure you're keeping your shoulder engaged and your abs tight. So when you start out, you're going to be directly beside your pole. And with this one, your feet are going to be very close. So you're not going to be like the standard, about hips width distance. Your feet are going to be close to the base of your pole. And then your hand is going to be at your shoulder. So it's going to be absolutely no higher than your shoulder because you're going to come down and around. You don't want to pull out your shoulder. So I'm going to grab it in a baseball grip by my shoulder. And then I'm going to lean out. So as I lean out, my arm is straight, my shoulder is engaged, and so are my abs. Everything is in a straight line, and I'm up on the balls of my feet. I'm going to bring up my inside foot, and I'm going to hook my inside knee at about hip height, and then I'm going to really grip with that knee, so I'm going to pull that heel back towards my hips. Now, I'm still leaning out to the side. I'm going to take my outside hand and place it beneath my knee. I'm going to leave a bit of a gap because you do not want your knee and your hand to get caught up in each other as you go down. So when you first start this, a lot of it can be with your grip because since you have that extra knee on there, you can be really grippy and even stop your spin before you get down to the floor. And then also you want to make sure your hand's not too close to your knee or you get tangled up with your knee and your hand together. So if you do this and you're too grippy, learn to adjust the grip in your knee, and if that's still a little bit too difficult, you might want to try this on with pants, as long as you feel like you're secure everywhere else. So, I'm going to lean out, grip with my knee, leave a gap, my thumb is up in a baseball grip. Now I'm going to pivot forward, so I'm going to go on the ball of this foot, and I'm going to kind of pivot forward, and then as soon as I feel the pole on the front of my thigh, I'm going to lift my thigh parallel with the ground. Do not let your do not let your leg drag. You want to bring that up as soon as you feel it on the thigh so your leg doesn't get caught up as you're coming around. So I'm here, I'm going to pivot forward, lift my leg, and ride it all the way down. Unhook. Okay, so let me show you that one again. Inside arm at the height of your shoulder. Straight engaged, lift, grip, grab, leaving a gap, pivot or fall forward, lift that leg, out to the side, and ride it all the way down. So you can also do a side spin extension, and that can also be helpful if you're gripping a little bit too tight with that top knee. So all that you're going to do is once you're in your spin, kind of switch which leg is bent, which leg is straight. And then if you feel really secure, you can also do this without your bottom hand. also work on some different ways to get in and out of it. So when you're going into this, obviously when you're practicing, you're going to do it just standing still, going straight into it. Now this is also something that you could do, like if you want to do a ballet hook, you can go out, your knee's already there, grab, and go right to your side spin. Okay, and you can also go into it like from a little transitional walk. Then you walking out, your hand is cupped, no opposable thumb. Switch your hands and walk backwards. Switch again, catch yourself, hook, and ride it all the way down. You can also go into it from a pirouette. And then if you're at a bit of a more intermediate level to where you're doing inversions and stuff like that, you can also fuse it with an inverted V or a straddle. So I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you on static too, so it's a little bit slower, maybe you can see a little bit more what's going on. But it's something that, since you're doing it already kind of close to the floor when you come to your side spin, you're not going to hold either spin for a very long amount of time. Now if you're really good with it on spin, and can really control your speed and everything, you might want to try it on spin also. That will give you more time to hold your movements. So what's happening when I'm doing it and adding it with a straddle, I'm going to go into my side spin, okay? And then what's going to happen here is once I'm in my side spin and my leg is behind the pole, I'm then going to allow my upper body to lower down so that I catch the pole in the back of my armpit to bring it like I would be when I was inverting. So I'm going to be here, I'm going to go, and then I'm going to lower down, bring it to my armpit, squeeze that elbow. Now my top hand comes at the space between my thighs, faces out, grabs. I can then release that top leg and straddle that. So let me try that again. Lower your body, bring it to the pit of your arm, release your top hand, between your thighs, then you can release your leg into your strap and ride it down. Okay, so here's that same combo on spin. Now, if you're not comfortable with doing it as a spin, you can also do it as more like a slide down to the floor. So there's a couple of different variations on that. So let me show you one of them first, where you're going to start out just like you did when you were doing your spin. So hand positioning, body positioning, everything the same. And you're still bringing up your knee. You're still going to grab. Now, you're going to slightly just come forward gently and slowly. When you feel it on your thigh, let it break your momentum. Slide your leg out to the side and slide it down. Unhook to release. Let me show you from a different angle. when you do that spin, you want to make sure that your bottom hand is in a baseball grip with your thumb up. Now, when you do that as a slide, you can do it just like you did with the spin, except you're breaking your momentum, and then you're pushing your leg out to the side and keeping it straight, really controlling your descent there in your hands and in your shoulders. Now you can also come down with your outside hand as far as you can. Slowly come out, push your leg out when your hand's to the bottom, release your hand out to the side. So I'm reaching down as low as I can go, so I have a neutral wrist and I have a nice strong triangle. I'm going to go into it just like I did the other slide. Push my leg out when my hand gets to the bottom, bring it out, and continue to slide down. And there's your side spin variation.